work with Countess Chiara and her family. And I think one of the most beautiful things about you is that you work as a family. And you work with the generations. I mean, the Cardinal, the Maria Victoria, and Mr. Francesco. I think it's wonderful to work as a family because this is what we do as well. We started as a family. My mother started a Christian Arabic TV show with her and actually moved us to Egypt when I was only 13 years old. So it was a culture shock for me as an American, you can imagine, in Egypt. But it was the best thing that could ever happen to me because it opened my eyes to the beautiful culture and led us to the melodies of the Mediterranean. So Mom, if you would like to present a little bit about yourself and your organization, I'll share what we have in mind.
I cannot thank you enough for your kindness, for your warm feelings, and your noble. Your heart is full of noble, and this represents the heart of God. And I'm very, very appreciative to our stay here and all of these wonderful people that you are introducing me to. I think each and every one of you, I try to get to know you more in a personal way. Sometimes I like I open my friend's door. And we are here just to encourage each other, lift each other up. Let each one of us know our destiny and our identity. If we understand who we are and why we are created, we will be doing lots of great things because we will be able to see. And I can see here seers. I can see people motivated for life, motivated to do good for the world. We are here for a short time. And as you can see, all of the pictures here of great people that they have done a lot for the world and they impacted the world. When we go, what is it going to be said about us and how we're going to impact generations? Not just for now, generations and generations. I cannot thank God enough for my daughter and my son who's in back home in California, and my husband. My husband is a backbone. Men, you are the backbone of women that have a destiny. Women are not just to sit down and to cook and to take care of our family. This is a big part, but we do have many other parts. And a good husband can understand it and push us forward. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the family. And thank you again.
Okay. I can say really your presence here because Yvette came from Los Angeles. There are 2 days ago, to be here when Jacqueline and me present this project in Italiano and in
I'm American, but somehow I could understand. We were saying in Italian. And I think that rings a bell with all of us, where sometimes we feel so different, but yet our hearts connect. And it allows the language to be understood. And that is the concept, the heart of the project. It's the heartbeat. Is that we are speaking a universal language. The power of music. Music to connect our hearts, to remind us all that we're just human beings after all, right? The very humanity of who we are, the brothers and sisters that we are. And we've seen this a lot in war, where you have children that could be considered enemies. But when times get tough and we unify them, onto the language that they understand, very quickly they become friends. And very soon after that, they become family. I remember there was a story spoken about tea, and it was actually a story in Afghanistan. And Americans were going into Afghanistan and they wanted to have peace. And so what they did is they had a tea with the family members who were heads of the tribe. And the first tea, they were strangers. They had to come together and have a second tea. That second tea led to friendship. But by the third tea, they were family. And that's unbreakable. And that's what we went through. We became family. We went on a very funny adventure. We met the very first time here in Venice last year. We were still strangers. And divinely, we ended up on a road trip together. We call it Thelma and Louise. It was a trip we took together from Milan to Paris, and we became friends. And today, with Mom here with us as well, we become family. And that's the idea, right? We want these young people to become family. Let's be honest, the world is very difficult right now. The politics are harsh, and a place for children to be born today, to be thinking about the future, is very, very difficult. Our place here, our position, is to make it a bit easier by creating that family bond. So the strong force of music. My father is a great composer, musician, works both brains because he's an engineer, but he has an ensemble called The Bridges, which is bridging the gap. All religions, all walks of life, coming together, embracing each other's humanity. And he started an apprenticeship program. All by the mastermind, Countess Chiara. This concept was beautiful when she addressed it and proposed it. I said, why not? This could be the next stage. Because we see it a lot of times in the little places, in the war zones, in the camps, and a lot of times this unity movement is hidden. But what if we can take that hidden project that many people have, by the way, around the world? How can we multiply it? How can we create the multiplication, everlasting effect? And I think that this project will bring that on. Imagine being just a young teenager and you're asked to be in a home with other young people that you would have never thought you would imagine, let alone live with, learn with, eat with, break bread with, which, by the way, when you break bread, that is unbreakable. To have those moments together in different places in the world, here in this beautiful home, protected in the covering of love by a family, even that, it's so personal, so intimate, to be here learning with a family covering, and then going through the same in Palermo, and then finally in Egypt. For many people may be afraid of Egypt, or what it could be like, but they actually find out it's quite safe. And together, they can unite. Jewish, Christian, Muslim together, and imagining in Egypt, what a precedent is that? What a time it can be to bring these young people together. I'm so excited about the small steps, but then I am also just as excited about the big vision, which is turning it into the film series and also an opera that goes around the world. Think about Opera Aida, for example. When you think of Aida, I connect with so many Europeans and Middle Eastern and Americans because of the Opera Aida. It's one opera that lasts an input on generations. There were meaningful melodies of the Mediterranean, a song of beauty, a song that can be sung. I can even imagine eventually going to the radio, being taught at certain levels in schools. What can the secret in that? So I invite you all, just like Countess Chiara, to join us in this beautiful journey and adventure. Mama, you have this beautiful center in Egypt. And I can imagine with the bed, everyone being together and joining forces. If you want to share a little bit about the center in Cairo. Thank you all so much.
Project?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We do have a center in Egypt in one of the best locations in Egypt. Egypt is safe. Egypt is a beautiful country that you can visit and you will not be threatened. Egypt is a place where you can find freedom, where you can find tourism, where you can find joy, food, luxury, and we go also to the poorest of the poor. So you can choose the children that you can see. They are smart, but they don't have opportunity. We bring them to our center, and we teach them, and we help them, and we love on them, and we show them their identity, so they can be the future, not only for Egypt, but for the globe. And we are preparing the young people by renewing their mind, first renewing their mind about themselves. When the poor people look at themselves, they say, I'm poor. I don't have anything. No, you're not poor. You don't have anything. You have a lot. Because you are created by the Creator, who His image is in you. So, coming to the center and living in the center and seeing the opportunities in the center, how you can be someone who can impact your community and you can impact your family first. And then you go from there to impact the whole country. And joining here, joining with you, with your smile, with your art, with your, the heart that you carry, the heart of God. And it's full of love and passion and action. We're creating a movement here. We're not talking about an event. We're talking about a movement that it can change society, that it can change cities, that it can change homes, starting from the homes all the way to the city and to the community. Welcome to our center in Egypt. I'm inviting each and every one of you to come, and we will host you. We will love you. Thank you. Yes.
This is our institute for the photo. The people like to take your photo. Why you explain the project in English? You guys speak in Italian. It's in English.
Okay. And very soon I'll be speaking in Italian. Remember us, we might be a part of the film.
Yes.
So the concept of the project, the whole idea, is that we would begin sometime this year, and we would take 8 children, 17. Oh, no, it's 17. Okay, so that's 17 children, and they'll be Palestinian, Muslims, and there will be Israeli Jew, and they're going to be Coptic or Maronite, and also Catholic Italians. And so the idea is they will live together, and they will start here in the Palazzo, and we will have this apprenticeship, we will bring the great minds of music to teach them and to begin developing the opera. And what's beautiful about it, they're going to have partnership. So the young people will have the mentorship of their apprentices, of their masters, but at the same time, they're working together to create this beautiful project. So you're bringing the minds, the different cultures, coming together with the talent to create the beginning of the composition. And then from there, it will continue. So I like to call it stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. So stage 1 will begin here. Then it will go to Palermo, in the Palazzo in Palermo.
Palazzo in front of the cathedral.
Beautiful, beautiful. And there, they will continue to stage 2.
Yes, in Palermo, because Palermo is in the center of the Mediterranean, and is a town where the meeting with the different heritage is every day, because from Africa come many people in Sicily. Is the border of Europe, and all people melange, mix with the different heritage in the Christian, Jewish, and Muslim, in the century, and you see is in the architecture, you see is in the music, in the face of the people. It's important Palermo, because Venice is Europe, is inside the Europe, the center. Palermo is a border. After in Egypt.
That's very important. Stage 2, I would say stage 2 is the sandwich. It's the middle of the sandwich. Because it's what's going to do stage 3. Because remember, a lot of young people, they've never left their community, they've never left their home, they've never spoken to people really outside of a different religion. Without speaking for Egyptians, for example, the Coptic Christian Egyptian community, they're very insulated because they're afraid, because they've had so much persecution over history. So to be able to tell them, no, we're going to take another step here. We're going to engage you with people that come from different places and different religions, and they're not going to harm you. I think Palermo is very strategic for that, because they're getting used to it. It's adaptation. They know we were in Europe, now we're going to Palermo, we're seeing different cultures emerge. It's not that bad. It's not that scary. And it takes the fear element out, which I think is a very important part before we head on to Egypt. So that stage 2 will still be the development of the opera, and the apprenticeship will continue there. Then the final stage, stage 3, hopefully at this point we'll be ready enough to feel the comfortability of being with one another in terms of the young children. They'll stay in the center. We have rooms, residencies for them. And my father, Victor Isaac, with his group and other people in the musical world in the Middle East will come together and they will finalize the development of the opera series. Now the idea
Is a movie and opera.
exactly. So this is where we bring film into it. So through stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, there will be filming that will happen, and I think that's very important because it's raw. Yes, it's very raw. To see maybe there may be conflict. There could be. When you're living with people, I mean, think of your roommates. You know, when you have roommates, there were conflicts. And that's okay. It's a part of the human nature. It doesn't mean we turn into enemy because there's a conflict. You're going to have to learn to dialogue and to overcome that conflict. So that film will be very important because it's the stages of reality that lead to unity. And then finally, this is the eternal part, I hope, that will last for generations. Is the opera will be finalized. And then it will go around the world, as you mentioned, all over the world. People will hear it, listen to it, they'll embrace it. And it will be amazing at that point to have a call to action where people go to the opera and watch it, and then they do something. They have some kind of action, and it turns into a movement that will then work itself out, and it will help it to continue forever, perpetuity. So the idea is the sale proceeds will then allow the program to continue the next year, and then the following year, and then throughout generations.
Yes. This project started in this now. It's the first day where Jacqueline and me speak about this project. And the goal is the movie, the documentary movie. This movie is the location for the movie is between the master class with the big teacher, very big teacher, and from everywhere, because it's very important to the teacher. To talk to the teacher is different, it's necessary people to translate the language, okay? Before to develop a melody, a song, an Italian song, okay, and ode. And the movie is in this house, the location in this house is Palermo, my house in Palermo, the palace, and the palace in Cairo. The goal is the documentary. The second goal is the melody, but it's very important because the melody go everywhere. It's not necessarily video, it's not necessarily nothing, it's just a telephone or a violin or a guitar, okay? And the last goal is you don't forget the board of humanity change all the time. And a land is not my land. It's not my Christian land. It's not my Jewish land, my Muslim land. The land is of the people living in this place, and it's necessary the people reflect, change idea about this, because the Romanic people have all Europe, all Syria, all Egypt, okay, but now Roma is small, it's just Rome, the empire of Rome for good reason. And my family comes from this family, from gens Julia of Roman, but I don't ask the land where my heritage living, okay? And I think with this message it's very important for to understand with the music, with this bridge, this experience for the children, with the teacher, because it's necessary, it's very important, the teacher and the children. And the language in this case, in the finality, is the music. Must start with the heart, okay? And this presentation is for you, It's the first of, there are different visitations in Italy, in Europe, in Oriente, and in America, for to develop a movement, but in particular to develop this project. And for this project it's necessary not just money, it's necessary the spirit, the people who like, for example, the photograph, the director, the professor, every people, the people who like to spend the time to help, okay? There are different possibilities for every people inside this room and in the room where I went with Jacqueline this presentation. Because it's not necessarily very much money, it's necessarily the heart and your eyes. Okay? The heart, don't forget the human history. Don't forget. Okay? I don't know, my English is very bad.
No, that's very good.
Very good. But I think it's possible for Jacqueline to speak better.
I think it's amazing. Your English is wonderful. My Italian, though. No, but I think it's something very interesting you talked about, which was the land. You know, all I know is that I live in this land, this is my land. I'm remembering a story that's similar in concept. A friend of mine, he was a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, very famous Egyptian actor. And he fought during the 6-Day War, where he went and fought against the Venice, Israel. Egypt versus Israel. And when he was a soldier, and his job was to kill. That was his job, kill the enemy. And when he went, he was about to kill a soldier that he found he was wounded. And the soldier said to him, please, don't kill me. I have a family. I have children. Please don't kill me. And he chose not to kill. He went back to Egypt. They found out what he did. They exiled him. He was kicked out, exiled in America. Years passed. And he prayed, I want to see what happened to the soldier I did. On the Los Angeles Times, the story is just unbelievable. On the Los Angeles Times, he wrote an article. He said, maybe, just maybe, he'll care about me. He said, I am the man that didn't kill you, here's my story, I'm living in Los Angeles today. If you ever see this, contact me. Somehow, someway, this is powerful. This is the humanity. Yes. This is the humanity. Somehow, someway, somebody that knew him in Los Angeles got him because he heard the story from the young man. The young man now was older, and his children got older. And he was telling the story about the Egyptian who saved his life. And they reunited.
How many years after the event happened?
I don't remember how many years, it was long enough. It was long enough for the children to have grown. It's such a powerful story. And now he goes around the world, you know, and he wants to and keeping their lives. I want to say, leave his country, leave his life, to save another brother. And they became brothers. And their families are family, they're one now. So this is the beauty of it, you know, and I think that it comes with experience. It comes with experience with the other.
Yes, I thank you for this